circus basketball to Ruth. Cole. Yes!
Hello and welcome to your Saturday night of hoops. It's a big doubleheader here as part of the Signet WNBL Round 3. It's Geelong Arena in our first game, and it's United up against Adelaide Lightning. My name is Matt Hickey, and sitting alongside me is coach extraordinaire Mark Alabakov. Mark, a really intriguing game on our hands in this one. Two teams desperate for a victory.
And two teams that keep on punching. You've got Geelong, who had an enormous win over the Southside Flyers. They'll be looking to bounce back after their loss against Bendigo last round. And Adelaide looking for their maiden win of this season's campaign, bolstered, Matt, by a big inclusion.
A very, very big inclusion. Steph Talbot in for this game, her first game of the season. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But you're right about Geelong United. Brought down to earth a little bit in the back half of round two after getting that first win in franchise history. But they're back on their home floor and they are ready to fire against the Adelaide Lightning, who, as Mark, you mentioned, they need to get that first victory on the board.
Absolutely, and they're a team that's still finding their way. They're the lowest scoring team at the moment and last in the league for assists, but they've got weapons. Once this clicks, when you've got the likes of Japrice Dean, Isabel Borlase, Izzy Bourne, and then now the inclusion of Steph Talbot, there's some dangerous pieces there on the offensive end.
We've had some entertaining basketball already in this round. It was the Spirit who got the big win on Wednesday night, and what a game it was between the Caps and the Lynx. We've got the doubleheader tonight, the Spirit playing their second game of the round against Townsville later on at Townsville Entertainment Centre. And then tomorrow to round out the round is the Flyers up against the Caps. And the Caps, they will be hungry after that tight loss against the Perth Lynx. Let's turn our attention to this one. Let's turn our attention to the home side, Geelong United. It was a disappointing loss, Mark, against the Spirit last weekend because they had such the high of that win over the Flyers to get their first win, and they got brought down to earth a little bit.
They did, but they'll be leaning into what they can deliver on the defensive end, and that's really going to be their MO. Can they continue to turn defense into offense? You've got Haley Jones, who gets 1.5 blocks a game. Jazz Shelley, Gemma Potter, a combined 5.5 steals. Their team is third in the competition for steals, and we saw a stack of hand pressure being really disruptive when they got that win against the Flyers. They'll need to bring that pressure again tonight to try and stem the tide against the Adelaide Lightning.
And Daniel Raber is back in for this game as well, so a handy inclusion into that front court, which has been led at the moment by Keely Froling. So a fantastic start of the season for her, averaging just under 20 points, 11 rebounds per game. She's shouldering a lot of the load, but she's doing it in fine style.
And plays with relentless persistence. So she's fourth in the league in scoring, as you mentioned, but she leads the league in offensive rebounds with 5 per game. So she gets you the ball back, whether she can get fingertips to it or comes up with it herself. And then she's in layup territory or she can kick it out. She's got the dangerous Jazz Shelley lurking on the three-point line, doing a heck of a job for this Geelong United outfit.
She certainly is. Now we turn our attention to the visitors, Adelaide Lightning. They're 0-2, as we mentioned off the top, desperate to get a victory. And I tell you what, the addition of Steph Talbot, not a bad person to bring into the team, Mark.
No, I mean, I could think of worse, absolutely. You know, the Opal star, she had a stellar campaign out with the bronze medal winning Opals at the recent Olympics. But she's going to be a huge acquisition, both for what she can bring on the offensive end as well as the defensive end. I think she's going to be proficient on both sides of the ball for this Lightning team.
And she'll be hungry after only playing the 3 games last season, recovering from that ACL, played late in the year, got 3 games away. Looked pretty good considering she was coming back from that injury. Went and had a season with the LA Sparks. So all eyes on Steph Talbot, but also don't forget about Izzy Borlase, who after, by her lofty standards, a pretty poor showing in the season opener, came good in that last game. She's averaging 17 points per game on the year. This is just the start for Izzy Borlase, isn't it? It's a very high ceiling, and we're going to see that game continue to develop.
Absolutely, and she's a tremendous driver of the basketball. She's a creative finisher. You've always got to be aware of where she is on the floor when you're trying to defend her and stop her. And she's so physically strong through her upper body. She can wear contact and be able to finish. So that whole package makes her, a really dangerous scorer for the Lightning.
We've got an intriguing clash ahead of us here as the teams are just about ready to get things underway. Steph Talbot straight into the starting lineup. Daniel Raber back into the starting lineup. Now, Mark, where was she again?
She was representing Israel at the Eurobasket qualifiers, so she'll come in fresh off international level basketball, so she'll be sharp as attack and ready to go.
No doubt about that. It's Adelaide in the red. It is Geelong in the blue. Strap yourselves in. Saturday night hoops starts right now, and Turner wins the tap, but it's Geelong who will have first possession. Jazz Shelley, a player looking to get going. Hasn't really fired a big shot to start this season. Fall-away jumper, we see a lot of that from Jones. No good on that occasion. And again, it was Froling in on the offensive rebounds like you mentioned, Mark.
Absolutely. Took the words out of my mouth. Already on the first play, competing for the ball while it's loose.
And we pumped up Steph Talbot a lot in the lead-up, and she's just thrown a turnover first possession, but it's going to get a lot better than that. Trust me, everybody watching out there. And it's the United who will take back over as they look for the first basket of this game. And I like that look from Jones. It does everything but drop. It was a gimme.
Probably more open than she realised.
Talbot not afraid of the contact. Puts the shoulder down, gets her own rebound, puts it in. Welcome back, Steph Talbot.
And that'll help blow out the cobwebs for Talbot.
And that is a loose turnover from Shelley. But she gets it right back, picks the pocket, should waltz in for a layup, and Steph Talbot says, get that stuff out of here.
And that's what she brings. So you see her featured at both ends of the floor. She's a two-way player in every sense of the word. So she gets involved here, highlight reel block there, and then at the other end in the previous possession, just persistence on the offensive glass to get their first bucket.
And the stare down and a little shake of the head afterwards as well. Steph Talbot is ready to play after missing the start of the season. Good work from Potter, but Turner, such a great disruptor in the paint, and the Lightning back the other way. That looked like maybe just a little bit of a walk. Gonna get it back, loves the mid-range jumper. No dice and a strong rebound, and here comes Geelong back the other way. A little loose with possession early. Froling and now Raber. Shot clock now down to single digits. Jones has to get busy. Has been aggressive early. Likes to go to the fall away. Goes to it here and buries it. It is a lethal weapon for her, Mark, but it's something that maybe she should look to duck in and get to the basket a little bit more, because I think defenses know that fall away is coming.
Right, and it's situation dependent. I mean, she's so in control of her body when she fades away, and she can release the ball really high. But sometimes you have an avenue to step through and go to the rim. You can shorten that distance and shoot a higher percentage shot that you might make more of.
Well, she keeps making them like that. Take it every single time on the floor. Good hands and help from Froling. And speaking of Jones, here she comes. Had a lot of it early, been very busy and active. Shelley guarded by Dean. Just a little stagnant on the offensive end. That was better motion. Raber finally caught it. Single digits again on the shot clock. And easily picked off by Talbot, who's back to the races again. Shelley looking to get the revenge. The extra pass was good to Dean, and she finishes for two.
Now, go back to that statement of Talbot being a two-way player. Right now, we're barely 2.5 minutes into the game. She's got a basket, a rebound, a block, and an assist.
Absolutely everywhere. Froling with the jumper, and Rabe had the mismatch on Dean, but decided to dish it off. It'll be the Lightning back the other way. Steph Talbot, catch and shoot three, back iron, good rebound and follow, couldn't get it to go. It's a loose ball, it's chaos, it's pinball, and Geelong eventually win out. Here comes Hayley Jones, likes the look on Steph Talbot, but good hands from Talbot. It'll stay with United.
It gives you a feeling for how desperate both of these teams are to try and get this win tonight. You see some uncharacteristic errors, you see the defense cranked up from a pressure perspective. Both teams still just trying to find their way into their rhythm early in this first quarter.
Nice cut from Potter, a good find. And Gemma Potter is a player who probably hasn't got the most out of herself to start the season, but she's certainly capable of putting up some big numbers.
Yeah, and I think the best version of this Geelong team will be her flying under the radar, but being able to give them double-digit points consistently.
Averaged 19 points per game and just under 7 rebounds for Diamond Valley in the NBL 1 South, and a good finish back the other way from Izzy Bourne, who was the NBL 1 South MVP. So 20 points and 9 rebounds per game for her for Keilor. It's the Lightning with the early advantage.
confirm from experience both of those two players, headaches to try to prepare for.
Had to do a little bit of scheming against the two of them, Mark, in the recent season.
Very, very talented, both of them.
So we've played almost 4 minutes of the opening quarter. We've seen some good and some not so good. But again, it's one of those early feeling out processes, and Geelong as that new team in the competition, just trying to find out their identity at the moment. Here is Jones. Falls away to the left and banks it in. Jones having a good start to this one, and we're all tied up at 6 apiece. Pristine has had a good start to the season for the Lightning. Loves that mid-range jumper. Good kick to the corner. 3-ball on its way, and it is good. Izzy Ball-Ace with the triple. She's had a little bit of a tough time from deep, shooting 3 of 17 heading into this game, but she gets that one to go, and that'll do her confidence a world of good. Great action. Jones flips it up, and Brianna Turner, one of the best defenders we've seen in the WNBL in recent seasons, probably the best.
She has, yeah, she really has been. So being able to challenge shots and change shots just with her presence, she's first in the league with steals at 4 per game.
Good hands in there. It'll stay with Geelong. Brianna Turner on cue, just coming in with a little deflection. Good crowd at Geelong Arena. Great to see Saturday night hoops. Of course, this is just one of 2 games. Probably a kicked ball. And Brooke Basham is the unlucky player who moves back to the bench for Steph Talbot, coming in and starting. But she's had a decent start to the year. Last year, only played the 18-odd games. She's come in the starting role and averaging just under 8 points per game. She's had some good minutes.
She has, and she's an aggressive scorer. She backs herself in and plays confidently. So for her to come in and play a role or pinch hit in the starting lineup in the absence of Talbot, it's been important for them to put a winnable scoreline on the board.
Ball-Ace is almost too open. They're going to get another look, and it was Izzy Bourne. The Izzy's combining once again, as they do so very often. Here is Dean, gets the switch. Good kick down, and it just parted brilliantly for Izzy Bourne, who scooted through and scored 2. And we have an early timeout on the floor. Mark Alabakov, what have you seen so far through the first 5 and a little bit of minutes?
Well, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. Both teams still trying to feel each other out. Neither has really hit a rhythm. I think the timeout here from Coach Chris Lucas will be to talk about things defensively. So especially on that last possession, you're looking for somebody to help and rotate towards the ball, not to allow a wide open, easy layup for this Lightning team. I mean, that was far too simple, and you want to tighten the screws if you're Geelong, especially knowing that they haven't put a whole lot of points on the board. They only averaged the 75, which is second last in the league. So turning defense into offense, I think, has got to be a real focus for them. They can't have any lapses.
Certainly very, very true. And this timeout is brought to you by Signet. Stay powered with Signet, Australia's favourite power bank brand. Keep your devices charged and never miss a moment. Visit Signet.com to find your perfect power bank. That's Signet, CYGNETT.com to find your perfect power bank. So the Lightning with the early little advantage. And what does it mean when you get a player and a leader like Steph Talbot back into the lineup, not just in terms of the actual play on the court, but in terms of morale? It's got to be a big boost.
Absolutely. The presence is huge, and everybody finds another level or plays with a heightened level of confidence when you've got someone the caliber of Talbot out there on the floor with you, because she can make your life easier. You know you can give her the ball and she can make plays, but she's also so steady and aware and alert on the defensive ends to help out.
Worth keeping an eye on how Izzy Ball-Ace plays now. Maybe just a little bit of that pressure lifted off her and maybe freed up just a touch. Nice turn to the corner, a little floater from Shelley. It was a good look, just rimmed out. Ball-Ace showing off the handle. Right idea, but good hands got in the way. It was pot up for Geelong. And this is that defense to offense that you wanted, Mark. But a big rejection from Ball-Ace. Said, no thanks, not in my house. And Lightning will back the other way. Here is Dean, little running jumper. Short corner, no good. Turner tried to tip it to a teammate. There was no one home, and Geelong will take over.
Like the extra pass to the corner there from Ball-Ace to Dean in the corner, looking for that pull-up jump shot. One thing you want if you're Coach Nat Hurst, where you've got Turner going for the offensive rebound, if you can touch the ball, you really want your player to go and grab it and keep it alive for you on the offensive end.
And the ball feeds down to Jones. Right idea. Looking for Hannah Hank, who in a pretty tough game for Geelong against Bendigo to end the round in round 2. I thought she played pretty well, and she's having a decent season. Of course, had a good college career at Clemson and plays NBL 1 North. So a play to watch, I think, and a handy option off the bench for Coach Chris Lucas.
Yeah, and just gets hustle plays or makes hustle efforts that turn into baskets or good opportunities for her team. So she's averaging the 6.5 points, 4 rebounds in only the 13 minutes. That's a pretty handy output for your backup centre.
Coach Chris Lucas won't be loving is Brianna Turner. Adelaide Lightning hosting a block party at the moment, but the Lightning just getting a few open looks. They haven't necessarily made them all, but getting plenty of layups. That one is way off. Somebody might have left the back door open there. The help defense hasn't been there when they've needed it so far, Geelong, and Basham just steps into a 3 and says, I'll have all 3 of those, thank you very much.
And she can shoot it, but that make is born out of total confidence. It's great to see her playing at a heightened level of how much she can contribute on the offensive end.
And so the lead now out to 8 as Hank backs her way in, and again another stop. It is physical inside the paint. They're collapsing hard, Adelaide, and they've got a little buffer here. Good pressure, low post feed. Good defense from Hayley Jones. She's been very active in the early parts of this one. Pull-up jumper coming its way for Geelong and left it short. That would have got the crowd up and about. But they'll just have to wait a little bit longer. We've got a tick under 2.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. One that Adelaide have owned at the moment. Geelong, they need their offense to get going. And they need to guard Izzy Borlase, who swings through and scores 2. She's up to 5 points with a couple of rebounds to boot as well.
And 10 of these 16 points for the Lightning have been in the paint. So if you're Coach Chris Lucas, you're trying to tighten the screws defensively. It's too easy to get high percentage looks.
That was nice action to the corner. This one has to drop for Geelong, and it does. And it was Alyssa Brett who got the triple to go down. Just got out to double digits momentarily, and it was cause for concern for Geelong. Turner looking for the feed. Fall away jumper. Bank is not open on a Saturday night just yet in Geelong. They don't often open on Saturday nights, Banks, Mark, as far as I'm aware. That was a good seal again from Hank. She's done a lot of her work early and now gets rewarded. She'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2, but she's working so hard down low there to get position.
Absolutely, and like she just keeps fighting, keeps battling, keeps staying in the fight for not only her position on the floor, but to get possession of the ball, gathers her feet and plays through the contact. Now she gets herself some free throws out of it.
As a coach, how great is it to have a player that you can just rely on, that you know that every time down the floor, she's going to go hammer and tong, and she's just going to put in.
Well, it's really valuable, and I think the two things that are most valuable is, can you have an athlete that has attention to detail and plays with great concentration, and then couples that with tremendous effort, and it looks like she does both of those things.
She's not going to get rewarded as much as we'd like because she's actually got a bit of a blood rule at the moment, so she's just getting helped out by the medical staff there for Geelong. It looks like maybe just bleeding from the nose, so they'll get that sorted quickly. And she'll get back out on the floor, but momentarily she won't get to take these free throws. And very smartly, Chris Lucas has subbed in Jazz Shelley, who's a fantastic free throw shooter. Not necessarily like for like for Hannah Hank in terms of position, but that's just a savvy vet coach move, isn't it?
Absolutely. You look for any edges that you can get, and certainly putting a tremendous shooter like Jazz Shelley on the free throw line. And that's going to be important here.
And Nat Hurst just asking the question. A little wry smile there from Chris Lucas. And it will be Jazz Shelley on the line. And especially when points have been hard to come by in the first quarter, they just have 9 of them so far with a tick over a minute remaining, as we have just a little delay as we wait to sort a few things out.
The momentum early has been with this Lightning team. They've done a really good job of spreading the floor and then being able to attack off the dribble. right now with the scoreline at 7 points, if Jazz Shelley can knock these two down and cut the lead into 5, and then if you're Geelong, you're looking at the scoreboard and it's 11-16, which won't be the case, unfortunately, with that first miss. But if you're looking at double-digit points versus double-digit, it's far more palatable. It's easier to be confident in your next possession. I think psychologically it has an impact when you look there and it's 9 and it's a single digit.
No doubt. Splits the pair there. Jazz Shelley, who of course in her senior year at Nebraska averaged just under 15 points per game. So we know she can put up points in bunches. Haven't seen it just yet, but the talent is certainly there.
Defensive change-up from Geelong in a 2-3 zone.
And it's worked there. They've got the stop. It was a nice change-up and a good look from Geelong. And Brenna Turner with a kick ball. Now, Mark, we just saw some images of the mascot there for Geelong.
Yes.
What is that?
It's a great...
As an expert in mascots, as I've just coined you, is it a cat? It looks like some form of a cat.
Yes, well, the Geelong traditionally has been the Super Cats in elite level competition.
United at the moment, but it looks like a form of a cat. We might have to do some research and get back to you there. There it is, in all its glory, having a little groove, as you do on a Saturday night. Why not? So Lightning lead by 6 here in the opening quarter. There's about 40 seconds to play. Geelong can go for a 2-for-1, but considering they've only put up 10 points, they probably just want the best look, and that was a pretty good one for Jazz Shelley. Could this be the big breakout game early in her campaign? 24-25. Good hands again from Shelley. There's about a 1 second differential between game clock and shot clock. Shot clock down to single digits now. Looking for the drop for Pinot. Good hands, triple team. They've got to go quick here, Geelong. Turnover. Talbot with the running 3 on the horn. The bank is open on a Saturday night in Geelong. Steph Talbot ends the first quarter back in the WNBL for 24-25 with a bang. The running jumper is good, and it is the Adelaide Lightning who take the advantage after the opening 10 minutes of play from Geelong Arena. Hello and welcome back to Geelong Arena. It's been a bit of a grind at times in the opening quarter, but how good is it to have Steph Talbot back in the WNBL?
And doing it all. She's got the 4 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals and a block. Doing it all out there.
She certainly is, and she ended the quarter with a bang as well with the running jumper. There was a big block against Jazz Shelley. Had a great start to this game. For Geelong, it was very slow offensively. They're shooting just 26% from the field, 5 of 19, but they've had some decent looks. Just taken a little bit of time to get into their offense.
And I think the timeout that Chris Lucas took to talk about things defensively, everything went up a level with the speed that they rotated to the ball, the hand pressure. What they were able to get since that timeout is 5 forced turnovers from this Adelaide Lightning team, of which they turned 3 of them into points, but they were able to stall some of the offensive momentum that Adelaide had and got themselves back into the picture on the scoreboard.
Yeah, the turnover battle is an interesting one. Adelaide have committed 7 in this game, Geelong 5, so 12 combined turnovers through the first quarter, and that, I'm guessing, would be one of the first things mentioned in that quarter-time break, Mark.
Absolutely. You know, looking after the basketball and being safe is a commodity. It's really important to be able to get yourself shot attempts from possessions and then not unforced errors.
To score the ball, you need the ball.
This is true.
It's a simple game at times, basketball, isn't it? We're just about ready to get things underway. 18-13, the way of the Lightning. That running jumper from Steph Talbot to end the quarter was called a 2-point basket. As we see, Ellsworthy attack the paint, should go the line to shoot a pair.
This is an underrated piece, right? So Geelong only has the 13 points for the first quarter alone. They only had the 1 set of free throws. So everything was either a perimeter shot, or we talked earlier about Hayley Jones in particular shooting those fadeaways. So when you fade away from contact, you don't put yourself in a position to be fouled. So I like this early change-up with Ellsworthy attacking the basket and getting on the line.
And we talk about it time and time again, especially when there's a bit of a margin in the game. The best way to try and get yourself back into it, stop the clock, try and get some easy ones.
Yeah, free throws and offensive rebounds. So here's where the defense has gone up a level. That's the 3rd steal for Jazz Shelley. She averages 2 a game, so she's already above that.
And Ellsworthy with the triple. What a good start for Geelong. They're up and in, and they are right back in this game within the first really 30 seconds of the quarter.
Defense to offense.
Nostradamus sitting next to me over here. Great call. And there's another turnover, Ellsworthy. That was a loose pass from Talbot. They can run the break. Brett from the wing, 45 triple. Geelong on fire at the moment to start the second quarter.
Outstanding team basketball. Outstanding. Daniel Raber ran the middle of the floor and cut hard to the basket, drew the attention of the only defender that was back, and that opened up all of the time and space for Brett to be able to catch and knock down that 3.
And that is really 48 seconds that Chris Lucas is going to clip up and say, this is how we want to play basketball as a team. And this timeout is brought to you by the WNBL app. Make sure you're following all the live stats of today's game, or today's 2 games, in the free WNBL app. You can also check out game highlights, team and player info, and more. Download it from the App Store today. Get your hands on the WNBL app. And now, what's the message from Nat Hurst? Because things were going pretty swimmingly for you. You ended the quarter, that opening period, on a bit of a high, and it is turned around in a hurry.
Well, as layman as it seems, make the play that you see, not the one that you want. So credit to this Geelong outfit. In the past 5 minutes of gameplay, they've been in a man-to-man defense, they've been in a zone defense in the half court, and then they've put some pressure up the floor in a 1-2-2 half-court trap. So they've changed the rhythm with different defensive looks. So if you're Coach Nat Hurst, you're talking about have a look at what you're facing and then be able to problem solve. So you're making the play that you see, not the one that your intention sends you to do like that.
And they've forced another turnover. Raybo now with the spin. They can take some time and they make the smart call of just setting things back up. A little bit of a mismatch here. Fall away from Raybo. Couldn't get it to go. And Froling, who hasn't scored in this game, kicks it out to Shelley. Back iron, and Brianna Turner collects the rebound and quickly back the other way. It's a bit of a track meet at the moment. Good hands. Raybo is everywhere at the moment. Here come Geelong one more time. And it's going to be an offensive foul. Moving screen, but another really positive sign for United at the moment. Keely Froling yet to score in this game, and yet they're up by 3, a minute and a half into the second quarter.
It's all about their defense. They're up to 8 steals as a team, and we see that pressure having such an impact early. So, and it's coming from everywhere, right? Raybo with that little spike to get them going in transition.
And it's coming from little deflections and little tips of the ball, not just the one-on-one takeaways. Steph Talbot will just look to calm things down. It's a great pass to Turner. What a fantastic find from Steph Talbot.
And a hard pass to make. It had to clear 3 sets of Geelong United hands to get to Turner.
Just looks a little bit more free and open from Geelong. That shot didn't go, but they're into their offense early. There's more movement, there's more spread. It's good signs for United. We're going to wait and see. It's going to be a blocking call. So a block called on. As we have a look down the other direction. And it's called on Brett there. An interesting one. Not a whole lot in it.
I'd be asking the question if I was Alyssa Brett as well, but I mean, it's so challenging at the speed that ball lays and she can drive with, and that this game and the WNBL gets played with. There's human error that comes into this as well. You can't see everything.
A bit of a matchup zone here. Dean, who's been quiet to start the game, no dice, and I think that's going to stay with Adelaide. Much to Billy Frolling's dismay. And has a few words to the official about it as well. Constant switching and changing defense here from Geelong, just keeping Adelaide on their toes. They can't settle. That's another steal for Geelong. They're going to end up with a layup. You'd think they certainly do. It started with Shelley and it ends with Shelley.
It's so unselfish from Ellsworthy to give her the ball as she ran ahead. Always reward people that do the hard running.
It is steals galore at the moment. Everything must go, and that being the ball for Adelaide Lightning. Need to look after it. Again, good defense. Dean had some space. Good closeout. Brett, that's a tough jumper. Back iron. Great rebound from Bourne to ball ace. The Izzies combine, but to no avail. Quick push of the ball. Shelley to Brett. It is fast-paced in this second quarter. Froling, can she get her first points? She can. She wanted the foul. She didn't get it, but she'll take the two.
If you don't get a score on this possession, if you're coaching Nat Hurst, it's a great time to call a timeout.
Should get one there. Miscommunication on defense. Steph Talbot wide open. Right place, right time as she often is. And scores two just to settle things down for Adelaide. Brett's been a bit of a spark plug. Froling again falling away. Again not getting the foul call. It's physical. They'll get another look. Hank with the mid-range jumper gets it to go. There's some serious pushing off the ball. We're going to get a foul here on Froling, I believe, who has her hands up, but she was frustrated after not getting a call. She's pointing to some scratches on her arm, and we can have a look at this. It was a good mid-range jumper, took what the defense gave her, as you said, and then there was some serious contact off the ball. This is the last thing you want to stop your momentum, isn't it, if you're Geelong?
Yeah, you don't want to allow anything to ruffle your feathers. You've got a 5-point lead right now, but certainly momentum in this game.
They're going to get another takeaway, another turnover. Froling, good hands from Turner. Stops the break, and Shelley was screaming down the wing there and might have had a wide open look, but it'll stay with Geelong. They lead by 5. What a turnaround. 10-point turnaround to be exact so far here in this second quarter. Potter, great play out of the timeout. Couldn't get the basket to go. Been a little walk and another steal. Brett was late into the play, but stuck with it. Bourne just didn't see her coming. She came out of nowhere, and now a foul as well. We can have a look at the replay. She was out of the picture, out of the play, and then just said, "Oh, that, thank you very much." And then Izzy Bourne just got pinballed around briefly there in a pair of Geelong players.
The challenge you have if you're Adelaide, how long do you hold your nerve here where momentum's clearly steered towards Geelong? As long as you can stay nearby on the scoreboard, you can generally coach your team back into getting to a winning position, or sometimes a substitution can make a difference, but if it starts to get out of hand, it's important to intervene and rally the troops and get everything back on your terms.
And another turnover there. A little slip there from Froling. That was a scary little moment. She's picked herself back up. She's okay. But they're just going to get the floor wipers out there, which is a great shout and always good. And the officials stop the game just to make sure play safety is the most important thing. The turnovers, Mark.
Geelong up to 12 steals. But one thing that I'm really enjoying watching them on the defensive end is how actively they're trying to touch the basketball and get fingertips to it.
That wasn't their finest moment, though, and a bit of up-court pressure back the other way from Adelaide. So if you're a defensive purist, getting treated so far in this one, 14 turnovers at the moment for the Adelaide Lightning. Geelong, I believe that is their 7th.
Well, they say offense sells tickets, defense wins games and championships.
And championships, yes. Back the other way. Again, they're quick to get into their offense, something we didn't see much of in the first quarter. Just a little too strong on the pass. It was the right idea because it was going to lead to probably an open look for Hank on the reverse side of the basket. But to turn over and back the other way we go. I've got to be careful to not throw away this momentum here. Crowd starting to get involved. Lead by 5. Lightning looking for an answer. Does it come through Talbot? To Christine. Just the 2 points. Pull-up jumper. That's her look. Left it short.
Fatigue starting to play a part for this Lightning outfit.
And Froling finally gets that foul on the rebound that she wanted, and I think she's going to get a pair of free throws for it as well. And Jones, it was a good take to the basket, went with a spin, and that actually created the space for the offensive rebound that will result in a couple of freebies for Keely Froling.
Right, now go back to the fatigue piece. When you're turning the ball over and you're having to chase a team on a fast break, possession after possession, it can be exhausting. And then where that manifests itself is some of your spacing in your offense, so you start getting in each other's way, or you're late to boxing out and getting rebounds on the defensive end like we saw there.
Splits the pair. The Lightning will look to cut into this lead. Just the 4 points in the quarter so far. We're almost seeing a little bit of a reverse of what we saw in the opening period, and Hank maybe just stuck the leg out a little bit there and smart enough to draw up the foul. So we get to see what Adelaide can draw up out of the out of bounds from the baseline. And I think just to get into some sort of rotation execution again. Just not quite sure what to do here against this zone. It's really a bit of a good look for Basham. It's a bit of a mismatch zone as well. They're matching up. They're happy to play into space. It's not necessarily a set 2-3 where everyone's just standing like they're nailed down to the floor. It's a really active zone, isn't it?
It is, and I mean, credit to Geelong changing the questions. Early in the game, Adelaide had all the answers on the offensive end, so Geelong changes the questions, keeps them guessing, makes it hard for them to find their rhythm, or maintain it rather.
And Chris Lucas wants to talk things over here because the Lightning got a little bit of a run, forcing turnovers. Japristine, can she get her confidence up? You cannot step off her because she will pop that jumper, and she did right there from the free throw line. And it's a great chance to shout out CTM Sports, calling all sports teams, say goodbye to travel headaches and hello to CTM Sports. CTM are 100% committed to delivering excellence in their field. Leave the logistics to the travel experts, why wouldn't you? So your athletes can focus on what they do best. Learn more at ctmsport.com.au, ctmsport.com.au. Mark, we get a chance just to take our breath here because the opening 6 minutes of this second quarter have been, I think frantic is the perfect word for it, but it's playing into Geelong's hands at the moment with a couple of steadying baskets from Adelaide.
Yeah, and far more composed, I think, at times from both of these teams. So Adelaide gets back on track with back-to-back baskets, but then you see the veteran savvy of Coach Chris Lucas to call a timeout, kill that momentum before it becomes a problem, and whilst you've still got the lead for Geelong.
14 turnovers for Adelaide, 9 for Geelong. So the defenses are wreaking havoc at the moment. And when they've looked after the ball, both teams have actually got pretty decent looks at the basket when they've been able to get into their offense proper. But the defense is doing enough to cause some mayhem, as Brianna Turner did just then. Looking now into a bit of a half-court trap. Not the spot to pick up the ball, but they navigate it brilliantly. And it did everything but drop. The build-up was so good. And Daniel Raber cleans up in the end. And we've just got a quick little stoppage here. Floor wipers back out onto the floor, doing the good work that they always do. Steph Talbot, it was a very, very short break for Steph Talbot. Bill Basham, 5 points in her 8.5 minutes, heads to the bench.
She's done a really efficient job. She's taken the shots that have presented. I used that phrase before, making the play that you see, not the one that you want. She's certainly done that and knocked them down when they've presented.
Here's Talbot, nice pivot, nice take, scored the 2, wanted the foul, didn't get it. but a great move from Steph Talbot. A simple one, but an effective one. Hank was there on the roll. Froling stepped out for the 2 with the space that was created. Doesn't get it to go. Just the 3 points at the moment, 1 of 6 from the field. Does have those 3 offensive rebounds that you spoke about at the top of the show, Mark. Going to get a foul just on the ground. The points wouldn't count. Always wanted them, but I think she took 2 dribbles and 2 steps and maybe stopped for a coffee before she actually got the shot up.
She's one of the most challenging players to stay in front of defensively. She's so quick with her first step and so strong, and she cuts her angle really tight in a straight line to the basket. She goes right at your hip and forces you to open up as a defender and allow her through.
I don't know about you, Mark, but I just get the feeling you're in for a bit of a thriller. It's very early on, I know, to make that call, but it's just got that vibe at the moment that these 2 teams are going to stay pretty connected to each other. Shot clock was winding down, so had to get it up there, ball ace. And a great play out of the out of bounds for Adelaide, and Hank for 3, not afraid to let it fly, back iron. And again, look who was chasing the offensive glass, as she always does. Keely Froling couldn't come up with it this time. And ball ace is going to go to the line to shoot a pair.
That's that upper body strength that she has, in spades. She can get her shoulder to your chest and then be able to go up strong, rides the contact, tries to get the ball up on the hoop, gets herself to the free throw line out of it.
It wasn't against a guard either. That was against Hannah Hanks. So that's a bigger body.
And a physical body, no less.
So free throws to come for Izzy Ball-Ace. As I mentioned, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals a game to start the season. Just 3 of 17 from deep and 13 of 41 from the field heading into this game. So no doubt that the addition, or return I should say, of Steph Talbot should help her out and hopefully free things up a little bit for Ball Ace.
In that half-court trap after the free throws.
Up to 7 points, by the way. Ball Ace scores tied. Jones with the scoop through Brianna Turner said, "I will not be having any of that, thank you very much." Not very often you get a block without having to jump.
It helps when you're
a hip-high block.
6'4" with a 6'6" wingspan and a tremendous shot blocker, no less.
Must be a good feeling. Shot clock winding down. Jones has to get busy. Spins. Great move from Jones. Just couldn't get the basket to drop. Enough pressure from Talbot. Great hands, Potter. Ball's still loose. It's a scramble. It's a fight. Bourne ended up with it. And the Lightning will just take a second to relax. And we've got another stoppage for some more floor wiping. Not sure if they're paying the floor wipers, but I tell you what, they're getting their money's worth at the moment, Mark.
Absolutely they are. This Lightning team now, I like them being far more aggressive in the back end of this quarter. So they've been able to get a second wind. It looks like they're trying to attack the hoop. They've got Geelong in foul trouble, so every whistle now puts them on the free throw line.
Talbot looked open on that curl and then a travel called on Japristo. Not the most obvious one we've had there.
And a warning given for shooting after the whistle.
And a little warning given to Japristine for shooting after the play, even though it went in, Mark. No reward for it going in, just a quick little warning there to not delay the game. Of course, it clearly went. Might be lucky that it did bounce off the rim and go completely the other direction. Geelong, again, that flair that they're looking to get consistently is getting them some good looks. Just not dropping consistently at the moment. Ball ace wide open, line drive triple, and her struggles from deep continue for the moment.
I'd like her to drive that basketball, put pressure on the defense, put the referee in a position to put her on the free throw line.
Good turn from Raybar. Help was there and then it went away. Pressure was good enough from Bourne. A tick over a minute to play. Quickly to Talbot. Turner did a good job. And Steph Talbot, the hoop plus the harm. It was acrobatic. It was impressive. It was Steph Talbot.
Outstanding finish by Talbot. Running ahead, gets on the end of this tremendous pass, and then acrobatic layup to finish the play through the contact.
And just smart from Turner as well. Did that little seal, but didn't hold it too long. for it to be called an offensive foul.
Cheeky and very, very clever.
It truly is an artwork that for bigs, isn't it? To just be able to seal a little bit, to give the offensive player who's got possession of the ball just a little extra second on a finish.
Make it look as subtle as you can.
Yes. So the Lightning just take back the advantage for the moment. They lead by 3. Inside the final minute of the first half, it's been back and forth. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, but it's been entertaining. The double comes on Shelley. Single digits on the shot clock. Now Raber, tough fall away, try to bank it in. What an effort from Brett. She crashed through. Didn't end up coming up with the ball. Ball ace trailing. Smart enough to kick it back out, take a breath. There's about a 15-second differential between game clock, shot clock. High off the glass, kissed it off the glass. Brianna Turner for 2.
A miscommunication from Geelong as to who was guarding Turner.
Wanted the foul as well. You can see her slapping her arm. We can have a look here on the replay. Turn the corner. And I think it might have been on the off arm there on the right hand that she got the slap. Putting her hands up. Yeah, just friendly conversation.
Caught everyone and the referee off guard. That was a turn to her left hand.
We've got a timeout on the floor. Lightning want to talk things over. 24.6 seconds on the game clock. 24 seconds on the shot clock, so I believe Geelong want to talk things over in terms of what their offense is going to look like for this last possession. They trailed by 5. It's been a better quarter for them, Mark, but you really want to finish on a high heading into the major break.
Well, it looked like they were going to start to run away with the game with what they were doing on the defensive end, Geelong. So they had the 12 steals, or they're up to the 12 steals rather, forced the 15 turnovers from the Adelaide Lightning, but the first 5 minutes to the last 4 in the quarter have almost been polar opposites. So Geelong gets out to a 14-4 start in that second quarter. Since that point, from the 5-minute mark onwards, it's been 3-12 in favour of the Lightning.
Yeah, up and down. That's that roller coaster we were talking about. And then the clock has just been adjusted out to 25.9. And this time, man, is brought to you by Ford. Ford dealers are all about supporting the game here in Australia, from Ford Aussie Hoops to the WNBL. We've been backing Aussie sports and communities for nearly 100 years. So when you're ready to hit the court, your local Ford dealer is here to help you get to the game. Let's go. 35-30 at the moment, but it is Geelong who will have what is likely to be the last possession of the half, although this game has thrown up a little bit of everything, so nothing is a guarantee. Again, this up-court pressure from Adelaide, which has caused a little bit of a headache at times, but Haley Jones happy to be the person to bring the ball up, and it eventually finds its way to Jazz Shelley. Pressure up from Dean as the clock continues to wind down. Inside single digits now. Jones one way, back the other way. What a tough look, Haley Jones. That is a tough finish. And she got it to drop over the outstretched hand of Turner. 4.3 on the clock. Lightning have got to go quick. Talbot did it in the first quarter. Can she do it in the second? I don't think it was a pass. I don't think Turner got it off nonetheless. And the first half is in the books. It's been up and down, as we've said. It's been chaotic at times. It's been eloquent at times as well. But it is the visitors, the Adelaide Lightning, who lead 35-32 at halftime.
I shoot like a girl.
Jaden Hamilton. Late shot on the buzzer is good. Sammy Whitcomb.
I block like a girl.
And the block came from George. Sharp over the top of the denial.
I rebound like a girl.
Gilman again on the O-glass.
Rattles out.
There's Mailey, the 2. Average 20 points a game.
I move like a girl.
Kayla George fires back.
And that's what makes us great.
Celebrating 50 years of sneakers?
For a delicious dinner that disappears and lets you squeeze in one more episode before bed. Pick up Latina Fresh, Australia's favourite pasta and sauce. Latina, we got the weeknight.
I shoot like a girl.
Jane Hamilton. Late shot on the buzzer is gone. Sammy Whitcomb.
I block like a girl.
And the block came from George. Sharp over the top with a denial.
I rebound like a girl.
Gilman again on the O glass.
Rattles out.
There's Maley, the two. Average 20 points a game.
I move like a girl.
Taylor George fires back.
And that's what makes us great.
For a delicious dinner that disappears and lets you squeeze in one more episode before bed. Pick up Latina Fresh, Australia's favourite pasta and sauce. Latina, we got the weeknight.
Hello and welcome back to Geelong Arena. We're 2 quarters down between Geelong United and Adelaide Lightning, and it's the visitors who lead 35-32 at the moment. If you're just joining us, my name is Matt Hickey. I'm joined by Mark Alabakov, and Mark, we've had a chance to catch our breath and just calm down a little, even though we've been sitting down the whole time. But the action's been impressive. It's been up and down. It's been chaotic, but it's been great to watch.
We've needed that extra breath, right? It's been an exciting one, especially quarter two, where it was a game of 2 halves essentially, and then it finished 17 apiece to get us in a real ball game right here. Geelong doing a tremendous job on the defensive end, turning defense into offense to get them back into the ball game. And then, I mean, Steph Talbot and Izzy Borlase, it's hard to hold them down for an entire game.
It certainly is. The turnovers have been just a massive part of this game. At the moment, Adelaide's sitting with 15, Geelong with 9, and really it's a case of who's going to look after the ball the best.
It is. So for Adelaide, they've got the 15 turnovers. That means they've shot 8 less shot attempts. They've only had the 6 assists. They've been playing through some fatigue and then just some breakdowns you find on the offensive end. But the brilliance of Talbot and Borlase means that they're still winning this game. So once they're able to find some clarity, get themselves back into a position, especially on the offensive end where 5 people can move as one, this whole thing offensively can take another step forward for the Lightning. They've got some weapons.
And for Geelong, it's not all doom and gloom. You're only down by 3 points at the moment, even though you're shooting 28% from the field. And your superstar, Keely Proling, only has 3 points, 1 of 6 shooting as well. So signs looking good for Geelong. They're well and truly in this game. And as you mentioned, Mark, things really started to turn around. Their defense was fantastic in that second quarter. Now, before we get going to see what is going to be a thrilling second half of action, we get to take a look at the top 5 plays of round 2.
Geelong with possession, Froling out to Ellsworthy, into the corner for Potter, pulls the trigger, that was huge!
It's been a calm head so far in this one. Ellis driving baseline. What a dive! No look handoff to Froling.
From the opening round, Wilson back the other way does everything but drop. Amihi gets a rebound, up, under, spins this way, that way, hoop plus the harm. What a play.
Looking to make her way into the keyway, just kicking off early. On bogey, driving, underneath the hoop, and it's there, a great reverse lane.
She makes a move. Would it be? Gets it back, Froling. And she gets the bucket. Right on the halftime buzzer.
Well, that went as well as you could possibly hope.
And don't forget, of course, if you want to win yourself a team-signed Geelong United jersey commemorating our first WNBL win, you can get your raffle tickets right now at the merch stand, upstairs at the bar, or if you're at courtside, someone will be coming around to you in the courtside boxes to get your tickets there as well. One for $5, 3 for 10, or 6 for 20. Winner to be drawn live November 23. That's next Saturday right here at the Geelong Arena with the Geelong United versus UC Capitals home game going on. Once again, that's a team-signed jersey commemorating our first WNBL win. Get your tickets right now at the merch stand at the bar, or if you're on courtside, someone will be coming around here soon.
Hello and welcome back to Geelong Arena. It's United at the moment, who trail by 3 points against the Lightning. They're well and truly in this game. Now, on screen, you will see this cat-like mascot. I'm not going to say it is a cat, but it's cat-like. We've been talking about it throughout the broadcast, Mark. I know that everyone at home has been just waiting for an update. That is GG, the mascot. GG even has their own Instagram account, GG, the mascot. It's 191 followers. I think we can build that up a bit. But shout out to GG, who, again, I'm not going to say it's a cat, but it's cat-like, and it's bringing the energy to Geelong Arena.
There's definitely some feline qualities about it.
There certainly is. Certainly is. It's pumping up the crowd. It was moonwalking. It was even having a brief interaction with Chris Lucas as well. So maybe dishing out some plays. But let's get back to the action on the court, and let's get back to Steph Talbot, who is back for the first time this season. She's had a pretty good start to the game as well. 11 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, that pretty emphatic block, and has been a good calming presence for the Adelaide Lightning.
And back like she never left. So filling up the stat column, you see the 11 points. So she's 5 of 8 from the field, making baskets contested, uncontested, has the 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. I mean, she's as complete a player as we've had nationally, and she's a star not only in the Signet WNBL, but certainly for this Adelaide Lightning team.
Leads all scorers and is second in rebounding, only behind her teammate Brianna Turner. So we're not too far off coming back into this game. But while we've got the opportunity, it's a good shout to mention a fantastic initiative that the WNBL is taking part in this season. This season, the WNBL is taking a stance against domestic violence. Putting a stop to domestic violence is everyone's business. Make an effort to recognise warning signs, listen to survivors, and speak up. For more info, head to Full Stop Australia. That's Full Stop Australia, or you can scan the QR code there on your screen. Fantastic and a really important initiative from the WNBL throughout the season. So the Adelaide Lightning lead by 3. But it's going to be a big battle down the stretch, isn't it?
It is. I think it's going to be a war of attrition. So Adelaide, in their opening games of this season, they've got 4 players in the top 7 in the league for minutes played. So trusting the starters, I think it goes a long way to put you in winning positions. But in games like this, where the defense is cranked up at a high level by Geelong, it could become a case of who's able to keep their engine running for the longest.
Wait and see as this game plays out. A bit of a messy possession to start here for Adelaide. Shot clock down to single digits. Talbot looking for options. Gets it in the right hands. Ball ace. Triple on its way. And the little jab step was all she needed for that bit of space, and she goes bang from 3. Has had a tough start to the year shooting the deep ball. 3 of 17 coming into this game. Now 2 of 4, so improving, and that is a play that Geelong need to get going. Keely Froling up to 5 points with that 2. Some early trading of baskets here between the two teams. Adelaide 0-2 looking for their first win. Geelong looking to bounce back from that disappointing loss against Bendigo. It ends up in the hands of Boyce again. Look to try and make the extra pass, bit off a little too much. Talbot took a tumble, not happy with the treatment, but Jones picks her back up and Geelong will take her.
I do like this from Borlase, though, using her gravity as an offensive talent and being able to get to the basket. Drew 3 Geelong defenders and then tried to get the ball to Talbot just outside her reach.
Spread wasn't quite there. Nice extra pass. Froling a focus early, looking to get her going. It did everything but drop. She then took a tumble again. She wasn't happy. Ball ace back the other way. Extra kick. I think everyone thought it was going to Turner. Maybe it should have, because Izzy Borner's sent that flying over the basket. And it will be Geelong ball as Keely Froling continues to have what appears to be, I won't call it a friendly discussion with the official, but a discussion nonetheless. Both offenses just a little stagnant to start this second half. Again, the defensive pressure up and in. Froling no dice. And Talbot quickly back the other way, splits the defense. Turner and Froling take a tumble. Foul's going to be called before the shot. There's a bit going on out there, Mark.
It's a little bit. If you're Coach Chris Lucas, I'd be having a discussion with Keely Froling. She's so important to this team, but it feels like she's getting caught up in some of the emotion of the affair. We know she's got some tremendous hustle and competitiveness about her. You just want her to focus her energies into the basketball game.
Good show there and a good double. Great play, extra one to Talbot in the corner. Just like they drew it up, the Adelaide Lightning, they played it to perfection and it finished with a Steph Talbot 3.
And anticipating the pressure that's coming from Geelong, so being able to stay a step ahead and then move the advantage onto somebody else with space.
Only gave it up, wanted it back, single digits on the shot clock. Raber falling away. That is a tough shot. How on earth did she get that one to drop?
My goodness.
Off glass as well, if you don't mind. Turner at pace with the spin. Says anything you can do, I can do better. Full basket for basket play between the bigs.
And 2 exceptional finishes.
Soft touch around the rim. Geelong trail by 6. Good hands again from Turner. And the frustration just continues at the moment for Keely Froling. 2 of 9 from the field, 5 points. 3 turnovers, 4 rebounds, 3 of them offensive. It has been physical, as Mark Alabakov described it, a war of attrition. And speaking of Talbot with another block. High low, maybe a little nudge under the ball. Block from Froling this time.
I like this from the Lightning, moving the ball and trying to get it to teammates who are in a better position. They only had the 6 assists. They're last in the competition for assists per game. I think they've got so much talent if they move the ball like this.
Great cut from Ball Ace and a good finish as well. And now it's out to 8 points, and maybe Chris Lucas thinking about a timeout. It's getting away from Geelong at the moment, and a massive miscommunication. The timeout will come if it's a basket here, which it will be. Timeout on the floor, Geelong. They trail by 10. It's falling to pieces at the moment, Mark.
You called it, and they're doing an outstanding job of anticipating the pressure coming from Geelong and then moving the ball when a second defender is committed to coming across to help, moving it to people in space and then playing 2-on-1 with more room on the other side of the court.
And this time out brought to you by Latina Fresh for a quick and easy weeknight dinner that the whole family will enjoy. Pick up a family pack of Latina Fresh pasta and sauce. It seems a little bit cruel that they're making us talk about Latina Fresh when it's about dinner time. But anyway, it's ready in minutes and so delicious there won't be any complaints at the dinner table. Find Latina Fresh in a chilled pasta aisle near you. How late do supermarkets stay open, Mark? I'm just thinking after the second game of the doubleheader, if I can sneak into a supermarket, they stay open late-ish. Get myself some Latina Fresh.
I think so. One thing I really like about Latina Fresh, I mean, it's so hard for me, someone who eats gluten-free, to find a pasta that is a high quality, and they do a tremendous one. And an array of sauces nonetheless.
There you go, spokesperson right there, Mark Alabakov. So, if you're Geelong here, Mark, trailing by 10, did some great things in that second quarter, got away from you with some turnovers and some frustrations. You find yourself down, again double digits. What's the answer? I think they know what the answer is because we've seen it. It's just how do you then are able to actually put that on the floor?
Yeah, I mean, you're staying out of situations defensively where you gamble, so you still want to keep your pressure at a high level. It's been fruitful for you, especially with points off turnovers, but you just want to settle everybody down so that you're playing solid team defense. And then at the offensive end, taking a collective breath so you're not chasing points and trying to force the action, just allowing it to organically come within your offense.
What Ellsworthy on the court, well, she was one of the sparks in that second quarter.
She was.
Got them right back in the game, so maybe a good shout there from Coach Chris Lucas. We'll wait and see. A little hesitation, a little jab, and a quick trigger on the three. Talk about a friendly roll. That one goes down for Alyssa Brett.
And there's somewhat of a good example. Everybody on Geelong touched the ball that last possession.
Spent her college career at Bowling Green and Michigan. Good score over those 5 years as well. 10.5 points, 5.8 rebounds per game. She's someone who can put the ball in the basket. Comes up with it there, and that might have been a little bit of a walk, Mark.
Little shimmy.
Jones looking to take full advantage. Brett, same spot, same shot. Doesn't get the friendly roll this time, and a good box out from Bourne results in a lightning ball.
When we talk about this being a war of attrition, your bench has to contribute, and it's so important when they do. Geelong United has the 16 bench points, 9 of which have come from Alyssa Brett.
Great in and out play. Bourne for 3. Yes, please. 10-point lead again for the Lightning.
This is what I alluded to right from the jump of the broadcast. This Lightning team, if they can get clarity and start to click, they've got so many weapons on the offensive end to have to deal with.
They on track to secure their first win of this young season. Jones, great defensive pressure. Ball's got to go up here from Raver. Look to go to the bank again. Froling collected it, but didn't get the shot up in time. So the defense also matching the lift in offense here for Adelaide, and it's resulted in a 10-point lead, a 14-7 quarter after they lost the second quarter by 2.
That's why we love the WNBL.
About that. Inside 5 minutes to play here in the third. Gone back into this zone. It's worked for them through patches. But are Adelaide starting to figure it out? Brooke Basham says, I've figured it out. I'll sit there on the 45 and go whack.
Takes her tally to 8 points. Goes a long way when she can come in off the bench and provide a spark for them.
And miscommunication there, right idea, but the pressure was good. Pinot might have just pulled the chair for a moment there.
you see the leadership from Keely Froling in that particular possession. You had 3 players drop their heads in frustration. She's clapping like, keep your head up. We've got this. There's plenty of basketball to be played.
We've seen how quickly it can turn. And Dean with the fall away. The points do not count. Oh, we were in for an incredible N1. It'll be a baseline ball. Bruce Dean just wants to ask the question, but I'm not sure the call is going to change, so it'll be Adelaide ball from the baseline or the side.
The dangerous sign if you're Geelong United is Japrice Dean hasn't really gotten into this ball game yet from an offensive standpoint. So she's only on the 4 points, averages 19.5. She's got another gear to go to as well.
That ball going through the basket, even though it didn't count, may be the confidence she needs. She said, may I have this dance, please, Sarah Ellsworthy, but couldn't get it to go.
I like that line by you.
Every now and again, I get one that impresses Mark. Won a game, I'll take that. Leads 13. Jones with the fall away and a little too eager defensively. Turner wasn't pleased with the call, but Jones will go to the free throw line. Of course, the national champion at Stanford. Was the 6th pick in the WNBA draft back in 2023.
Speaking of lines that you have, one that's a hickeyism for me is hoop plus the harm, which was that last possession.
Certainly was. No good on the first. 3:41 to play here in the third, and Geelong really wanting to bring it back inside single digits before they go into the last break, and missing 2 free throws, not the way they want to do it. That was a pretty easy look for Ball Ace, but they got away with one there, Geelong. Nice ball movement to start the possession. Froling trying her best to get the seal. Good help from Turner. The weak side help was fantastic, Mark.
It was. They did an exceptional job of moving the basketball and staying spaced. It's a hard thing to do to maintain your spacing, to keep those post feeds alive, those driving lanes alive. But defense up to the task.
Certainly was, as it has been for most of the quarter here for Adelaide. And a chance to really push out this lead. Pinot with the short corner deuce. And Georgia Pinot with a nice make there in the corner, and it pushes the lead out to 15. Played at the Rockingham Flames in NBL 124 out in the West. Average 18.7 rebounds, 3 assists a game, so he can certainly score. There's a tussle down low, and I believe that's going to be a foul against Keely Froling. She continues her battle down low. You can have a look at the replay here. It was a good takeaway from Pinot, and a little bit of frustration there from Froling, just grabbing at the arm as she fell. And she's going to get a well-earned break here. Turner takes a seat. Izzy Bourne comes into the game, and Talbot and Ball Ace, they've combined for 27 at the moment, and there's been a little bit of a spread amongst the rest. And it's been a big spread for Geelong, with Brett leading the charge with 9 points. He's going to stay here with Adelaide.
A really smart move from coach Nat Hurst to get Brianna Turner some rest. While Froling's out of the game, you get an opportunity to rest. I talked about the war of attrition. Adelaide with the 4 players in the league's top 10 in minutes played. Anytime that you get an opportunity to buy some rest and keep them fresh for a fourth quarter push, I think you've got to take those opportunities.
We spoke a lot about the turnovers at half-time, and Adelaide committed just the 1 turnover in this quarter so far, with just a tick under 2.5 minutes to play. And it's no surprise that coinciding with that is them taking a big lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And I use the phrase making the play that you see, not the one that you want, and anticipating or having a vision first as a precursor to your decision. They're doing a better job with that. Their decision-making's gone up. They're moving their advantage to other people. They're far better with assisted baskets in this third quarter, and they're doing a great job as a team.
What a great pass, a good feed, and Brett into double digits, the first Geelong player to get into double digits. She has 11.
Flying under the radar, Alyssa Brett, she comes in and brings a whole lot of energy, especially on the defensive end with her hustle, but she gives them the 8 points, she gives them 2 rebounds and an assist a game, and she's a vital cog in this team, I think, moving forward.
You might have seen on Great little graphic down in the corner there in terms of some of the numbers for Brianna Turner, who's up to 4 blocks, 3 steals, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, and 6 points. What if there was WNBL Supercoach? He just about first picked, I think. That is a good game that she's putting together. And that one does everything but drop frizzy boys.
She certainly anchors their defense, and then what doesn't show up in a statistic is how many shots she changes or how many forward drives to the basket she forces or encourages people to hesitate because of her presence close to the basket.
With the return of Steph Talbot, Brianna Turner can turn into a double-digit per game scorer.
She can.
Is this a playoff team?
It has the talent to be a playoff team, absolutely. They've just got to be firing on all cylinders, and they've got the pieces for it.
They're going to get their first win here against Geelong, and that's a good finish from Hannah Hank, averaging 6.3 points per game to start this season, and one of those players who goes out, does everything the coaches ask. Talbot probably could have looked to shoot it herself, got it back, made some extra passes, going to get her teammates involved. Single digits on the shot clock. Dean loves the pull-up midi. That didn't go. Double team was good, and Alyssa Brett with the takeaway. And this is what got them going. That somehow ends up in the hands of Ellsworthy. Hank again does such an effort to seal low. Brett, but fantastic play from Steph Talbot. That might be block number 3 for Steph Talbot, who's been everywhere defensively. We can have a look at the replay here. Looked like for momentarily here she was not going to be in the play. Just a quick little step, and the deflection was good enough to break up an open lane. A lot of holding off the ball. Hank with that mid-range 2. Doesn't mind it there from the free throw line jumper.
Cuts the lead to 10.
Really important as well. Inside a minute to play here. Japrice Dean with the pull-up, banked it in. Japrice Dean with a good look as we head towards three-quarter time. 12-point lead now for the Adelaide Lightning. Geelong will want it back to 10 or under. Heading into three-quarter time. Here's Brett, probably been the best of Geelong. Ellsworthy, shot clock winding down, has to get busy, stops, pops, left it short, got her own ball back, extra ball to Hank, one dribble, and what a play from Pinot. It's still loose, it's still there for Hannah Hank, who scores the 2. That was a wild possession, but the important thing if you're a United fan is it ended in 2 points.
They just stay in the fight, don't they? And I love this from the trio of Brett, Ellsworthy and Hank that come in for Geelong United. It's energy, it's relentless persistence, it's getting hands in, it's fighting and scrapping for everything that Geelong United get.
And they've combined for 24 of their 47 points, so over 50% of their scoring has come from that trio off the bench.
So impressive.
Great shout from you there, Mark. So Adelaide, shot clock will be dead. It's 23 seconds, or the shot clock will be like a second differential. I apologise, but I think they end up with the last shot here. Dean was wide open, step back, 3 on its way, went early, which means they won't end up with the last possession. Can Geelong bring it back to single digits? Extra kick to the corner, 3 ball on its way, no dice, and a good rebound from the savvy veteran Steph Talbot. Means they don't get a second opportunity, and heading into the final 10 minutes, it's the visitors, the Adelaide Lightning, after a strong showing in the third quarter, who lead 57-47. Hello and welcome back to Geelong Arena, and the third quarter was one owned by the visitors, the Adelaide Lightning. They won the quarter 22-15. They lead by 10 against United, but we still have 10 minutes to play. If you're just joining us, my name is Matt Hickey. I'm joined by Mark Alabakov. And Mark, Geelong, they need an offensive explosion. They haven't scored over 20 points in a single quarter. Where's it going to come from?
It's a great question. It's got to come primarily from the hustle plays, so your rebounds and your transition points, but they've just got to execute better in the half court as well to create some of those advantages and get their scoring percentage up. So in that third quarter alone, their field goal percentage went from 38% down to 32%. The ball just looked like it stopped, it stalled. They didn't get the quality of shots that they got in the first half alone, and only the one set of free throws for that quarter as well.
I mean, I've spoken a lot about the turnover battle, especially with what went on in that second quarter, where Adelaide in the first quarter committed 7 turnovers, the second quarter committed 8, had 15 at halftime, just the 1 turnover in that third quarter. Yep. And it should be no surprise that that is when the margin blew out a little bit.
Yeah, and showed the weapons that they have on the offensive end. So they win the quarter 22-15, but they had 8 assists. They were far more clear on what their plan was. The ball moved and they either created an advantage for themselves, so we're talking primarily about Talbot and Borlase rather, but then the ball moved and it found an open set of hands and the ball got knocked down. So they had 6 assists as a team for the first half alone, 8 in that quarter, playing excellent offensive basketball as a team, the Lightning.
So we're back underway here for the fourth quarter. Maybe for Geelong, the offensive explosion comes from Keely Froling, just the 5 points, 2 of 10 from the field in this game. Average is close to 20 on the year. She certainly has it in her. Can she get going? Hank stays with the play, gets her own rebound. Didn't hit the rim. Shot clock still live and winding down. Froling, great turn of the corner, draws the foul, and a good start for her here in the fourth period.
Very good start. And, you know, I feel like with the scoreboard pressure that they received in that third quarter just prior, they started to chase points and force a whole lot of the action. And Keely Froling, for as dangerous as she can be, she fell into some of that as well in that last quarter. Here, this first drive to the basket, far more organic, came out of team gameplay, and she showed what a star she can be.
It's been a pretty quiet night for both teams from the free throw line. That is just the 14th free throw attempt combined across both teams. So officials certainly letting them play, and we've seen some great interior defense. Brianna Turner up to 4 blocks, and we're seeing a full court press here from Geelong.
Differently.
Maybe. Half taped up, maybe. Here's Steph Talbot. Had a fantastic game. Ambitious pass, but of course she pulled it off. Turner has to make the extra one. Kicks back to Talbot. One more to Borlase. Step back. And a good defensive play from Froling. Shot clock violation. Probably could have gone to the basket, but liked the look of the 3.
Yeah, I think she should have followed her first instinct and put it to the floor. She would have been able to get deep in the paint. I think she had Froling beaten on that closeout. One hard dribble and she would have got right down the middle of the keyway and a layup attempt out of the play.
Seen this a little bit across every quarter. Both teams just a little slow to get into their offense at the start of quarters. It's been stagnant and picks up later, just a little slow getting into things.
I think business will pick up if Geelong can cut this lead under double digits. So this will be helpful. Unfortunately not down in that instance, but if they can cut the lead into single digits, it puts the scoreboard pressure back on Adelaide, and we'll see if Geelong has a chance to get themselves back into this contest and force Adelaide to come up with a response.
Turner just hesitated on the first one, took the dribble, and that might have cost her the basket. Lead is 10 at the moment for Adelaide. Geelong have to start cutting into it soon. That's going to be an offensive foul, I would have thought. Froling wanted the flop, but the off arm was quite clear. I think most people in the building, and probably you all at home as well, saw that one. And there was a little bit of, I would say, added performance from Brianna Turner, but very well played because the off arm certainly came. And a tough old night for Keely Froling, averaging 20 and 11 on the season, but hasn't quite got it going, and Brianna Turner's played a big role in that. Dean with the drop-off ball, good hands from Jones. Started the game really well, has quieted down a little bit. Can she find it? Goes to the basket, created some space for herself, but just lost the ball momentarily, which didn't allow her to get the shot up. Froling with the turn of the corner, gets the foul, the hoop plus the harm mark, and she'll go to the line to shoot a free throw and potentially cut this back to a 7-point ball game.
There's that Hickeyism. Hoop plus the harm, strong finish, and it's so dangerous when it's organic and it's in the gameplay like this. And I love that while she stays in the contest and stays persistent, she's able to make these plays just with her athleticism alone as well. So not only a great battler and fighter for possession of the ball or position on the floor, a great offensive talent, Keely Froling.
59-52 with the made free throw. The beauty of we're just going to get a stoppage here. The clock wasn't right for a moment there, Mark. I was just trying to see exactly what was being said. I thought they were going to call the quickest 8-second violation in the history of basketball. My maths might not be great, but I can certainly count to 8.
Maybe they were counting by twos.
Although there might be some teachers who disagree with that, but it was a clock issue. But again, if they can get a stop here in a basket, and all of a sudden it's around that 5-point mark, it is plenty of time left in this ball game. Got to get the crowd involved.
Yeah, leads can evaporate quickly because of the talent in the WNBL offensively.
6.5 minutes to play in this game. Adelaide have been the ones who've looked the most likely, but Geelong certainly capable of a run. Turner, tough ball away. Again, a very, very stagnant offense from Adelaide. We've got a whistle on the rebound. And it's on Izzy Bourne. And she's having a conversation with the official, and the official does not look impressed in any way, shape or form. That is... These points didn't count just quietly, so that's what happened on the play down the end. Geelong thought they were running away with an open look, but there was a whistle. Izzy Bourne's going to head to the bench. Picking up another foul, so she's just in a little bit of foul trouble momentarily. I believe that is her 4th, so something to keep an eye on in this one. And Geelong, they get the stop mark.
Yeah, and you just get the feel the next basket that goes down is going to be really critical for one of these teams to start to make a run in momentum.
I think there might be a slight breeze in Geelong. We've seen a fair few of those tonight.
Shut that window.
Somebody has left a window open. If we could get that sorted, that would be fantastic.
Maybe that's where the weighted basketball comes in
Yes,
handy.
this is a new ball as well. Great extra pass. Talbot, feet set, 3 on the way. It does everything but drop, and it's been a bit of that going on for Adelaide in this quarter. Ball Ace just trying to put some up-court pressure. Jones up to the task. Now likes the matchup. Goes to the low block. 1-on-1. Switches pivot feet. And another miss.
It's always harder to score when the defense is back and set. Now, I agree with the sentiment of Coach Chris Lucas. You might have seen on the sideline in that last possession, he's waving his hand through, encouraging his team to push the ball with some tempo. I think there's a real opportunity for them to get some baskets in transition off the back of their defensive stops if they push it quick enough.
These two teams really battling it out. There's a bit of fatigue out there, you can tell. It's been a real war of attrition, as Mark Alabakov so eloquently described it as. Well, the Sydney WNBL season launch actually kicked off a few weeks ago at the reimagined Foot Locker store in Melbourne Central. And you can celebrate the hoop season by grabbing the latest kicks and apparel at your nearby Foot Locker, the official major partner of the WNBL. And it's time to start thinking Christmas presents as well, just quietly, everybody at home. It creeps up on your Christmas, and Foot Locker, great spot to pop into and get your loved one sorted. And I think as well, a good attitude everyone should have. Buy a gift for somebody else, buy a gift for yourself at the same time. One for them, one for you. So while you're at Foot Locker, pair of shoes for a family member, pair of shoes for yourself.
I like that idea. I'll see if I can sell that to my wife.
You've got to treat yourself, Mark, every now and again. So 59-52 at the moment. Adelaide with the ball, and a good chance for both teams as the offenses are both slowed. It's just a 5-2 quarter, and we have played almost half of it. Both offenses just need a reset here, and the trap again from Geelong. Chris Lucas playing some extra defense on the sideline. Single digits on the shot clock. Again, slow offense, but good defense. Talbot says, I'll just have to do it myself. Look to pass it to Turner. Good read from Jones.
Here's where they've got to run.
Not quite a run. Maybe a slow jog, but they get into their offense. Jones has the mismatch. Has to go to work. Turner from the back. Said no thank you. Block number 5.
But a great idea to try and get in the paint and put the referee in a position where you're not only shooting a high percentage shot, but there could have been a whistle out of that play. I think the fouls are going to become an impactful part of this late game. So Lightning on the 3, and they've got Izzy Bourne, rather, with 4 fouls currently out of the game.
And a handy make there from Froling. Gets this back to a 5-point ball game. Ball ace. Smart up fake. Run into trouble, run into a double. Talbot with the fall away. She didn't get it to go. There's a lid on the rim for the Lightning at the moment. They have just 2 points in the quarter. Geelong in front of their home fans. Shelley turns the corner, blew the gimme layup, and that would have brought it back to a 1-basket game.
But that's the play I'm talking about, the live ball change of possession. Push and see if you can get ahead of the defense who's fatiguing and see if you can get on the rim. You either get a layup out of it or, as I alluded to, you put the referee in a position to whistle a foul in your favour.
Adelaide's offense has just stopped at the moment. Blocked by Froling. Did a great job. Pushed it into the backcourt as well. They're not going to have time to get off a shot. Dean didn't even toss one up from half court. Shot clock violation. United. The momentum starting to swing.
It is indeed, and not shot clock aware, so not knowing that there's only minimal seconds left to try to get the ball over and into a scoring position. So this scoreboard pressure that Geelong is putting on the Lightning, paying dividends even though the Lightning still hold serve.
4 minutes to play in the last quarter. 5-point ball game. United with possession. Crowd starting to find their voice. Got to get the shot up. And it was short again from Geelong. We can have a look here at the play from Froling. It was a great hand, and that is a great lesson for all the kids watching at home. Keep your hand up, especially when you're guarding a shooter, Mark.
Yeah, and keep your feet and body away so that you can use all of your length to disrupt the shooter.
Got to get a good look here, Adelaide. Just the 2 points in the quarter. Credit the Geelong defense. We have played 6.5 minutes. It's been Steph Talbot's game. She kicks to Turner. One more to Basham. No dice for Adelaide. Another stop for United. They have an opportunity. Can they take advantage of it? Brett wants the mismatch. Froling. And there's a big foul. And Keely Froling will go to the line to 2. And if she makes both, we will have a 1-possession ball game. I hate to say I called it, Mark, but this one could be going out of the wire.
Absolutely, and the foul's becoming an impact now. So now the Lightning are up to 4. Once they get themselves to that 5, they'll be in the penalty, so any foul that occurs on the court for Geelong sends them to the free throw line and walks them to this stripe where they get 2 shots unguarded.
She makes the first there, Froling. Just the 5 points, I think, heading into this quarter, and now she's up to 13 for the game, so 8 points in the quarter. That's 9. Lead is 3.
Bourne back on the floor for the Lightning.
Playing with those 4 fouls. Turner got quadruple teamed almost. Take away Geelong. Could they tie the game up? Yes, they can! What a drop. The basketball gods are with Geelong at the moment. We're all tied up at 59 apiece. It is game on at Geelong Arena, and it was Alyssa Brett. What a game she's having, up to 14 points and 4 rebounds.
The user-friendly roll, no less. I believe that's her 4th three-point make. Ties the ball game up. She's got ice in her veins.
Let's have a look at this. That is almost past the top of the backboard and dropped back in. That's why you always put a little bit of backspin on your shot. To all the kids watching out there, timeout on the floor. The Adelaide Lightning have scored 2 points, Mark, 2 points in 7 minutes and 8 seconds of gameplay here in the 4th quarter. What is going on?
Well, they need to get their clarity back on the offensive end. It was so beautiful for them in the 3rd quarter in the way that they played. The last 2 possessions, I believe, or at least 2 of the last 3, the Lightning have finished the possessions in the hands of Brenna Turner out 10, 12 feet from the basket. I don't think that that's the best use of her or the best use of their possession with the weapons that they've got on the floor. So getting back on the same page so they can create the types of advantages they want or have the ball end with the people that they want in scoring positions, that's going to be vital here to close out the quarter.
Geelong's defense proving to be a big factor down the stretch. They were down by double digits to start the quarter, and now we're all tied up inside the final 3 minutes. Strap yourselves in. Good physical pressure again here from Geelong. Can ball ace break the drought for the Lightning? Wants to go to Bourne. Tough look. Bourne!
Oh my.
With a big triple, breaks the drought. It was a messy possession, but it's a big basket.
If you're the Lightning, you'll take it.
Double-double now, 10 points, 10 rebounds. Brett for 3. That one, she doesn't get the roll. Shelley with a great tip, and they can reset 14 on the shot clock. Froling going against Turner again, scoops through, and that's going to stay, I think, with Geelong. It will. We can have a look at the move. It was good pressure again from Turner. So hard to go one-on-one. I think that ball might have clipped the rim. So it's going to reset to 14 here for Geelong, and we get to take a look at what they're going to draw up from the baseline out-of-bounds play. Another brief stoppage. They're actually going to wind the clock down. I thought that hit the ring mark.
I mean, so long as they run a play here where there's a catch and shoot without too much passing of the basketball, they could be okay.
Turner took the chair away. It was a jump ball. The jump ball beat the shot clock violation. And we can have a look at the replay. Turner just took the chair away. They both actually took the chair away from each other. The jump ball is going to go the way of the Adelaide Lightning. A minute 58 to play. That could be a big, big play down the stretch.
Well, especially this one now corresponding, so it puts you on the back foot if you're Geelong. You're having to get a defensive stop to get back into offense to try and eat into this 3-point lead. And it's that awkward number. It's not a quick, one basket at the tip of the rim that's going to get you back in a winning position. The 3-point shot is what you need to tie this one back up, but you've got to get a stop here first.
All starts with a stop. Here's ball ace. Good high pressure. Little give and go. Tough fall away jump shot. They didn't bail her out with a foul. Here come United. Do they have the 3-point basket in them to tie it up? Don't have to get it all at once. Finds itself in the right hands with Brett. Looks like they're looking for the 3. Now they drop it in. Good hands from Turner. Broke up the possession, and we find ourselves in a very familiar position. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Baseline out of bounds as Keely Froling takes a little second to pick herself up. But Brandon Turner knew what was happening there. Just waited at home and made the play. We do have a timeout on the floor, so Geelong want to make full use of this possession, as they should. They trail by 3. A minute 22 on the clock, 6 seconds on the shot clock. I want you to take the clipboard here, Mark Alabakov. What are you drawing up here from the baseline if you are Geelong?
Well, you get a free swing at something, right? So with the 6 seconds, you need a catch and shoot or something close to the basket. So I think, I mean, with a minute 22 to go, a quick 2 would be helpful as well. So I'd be using some form of, it's called misdirection. I would send somebody who's a dangerous scorer towards the ball, looking like the ball wants to come to that player, and meanwhile disguise a little action on the other side of the court for someone to get a cheeky shot.
I like it. I like it. A little bit of misdirection. For you Ted Lasso fans out there, I think that was the play that finished the series. Pass me the ball. I want the ball. 62-59, the way of the Lightning at the moment. A minute 22 remaining, as I mentioned. It has been a 12-5 quarter the way of Geelong. We said they needed an offensive explosion. Well, maybe they just needed a defensive explosion, and that is what they have delivered so far. But they need a few more answers down the stretch in front of their home fans. Looking for their second win. Adelaide looking for their first win. Steph Talbot back in the lineup. Let's see the action. It is a little bit of misdirection. Ends up with Brett. She just has to hoist one up. It looked good out of the hand, but no dice. And now Adelaide can use the full extent of the clock to their favour. Turner now to Dean. One extra ball to Talbot, who's happy to slow things down. The veteran, Talbot, drop-off ball. Turner kept it high but missed. Inside the final minute here. Jones with the quick take, goes herself. Jones flips it up, flips it in. We've got a 1-point ball game. No one stopped the ball mark.
And there's profit in pushing the ball quick. I'm telling you, there's a huge opportunity for this Geelong team if they can not slow themselves down and keep accelerating when they come up with the ball.
Here's ball ace. It's going to find its way to Talbot, as it should. Drives hard, double team came. It was a good wrap up. Flick to Dean. Got to get a shot off. Dean with the pull up jumper. Gets it to rattle home. Back to a 3-point ball game. 24.3 seconds left on the game clock. Japrice Dean, who has scored just 6 points, 3 of 11 from the field, steps up when the Lightning need her.
The steady hand of Japrice Dean.
Up to 8 points now. 4 of 12 from the field with that make. Japrice Dean loves a steady serving of mid-range jumpers. And as we see time and time again in the clutch, the mid-range delivers. And now Geelong once again have to look to the perimeter to try and tie this game with 24.5 seconds left in regulation.
Now the thing that you can roll the dice with is fouling and putting Geelong on the free throw line, knowing that they can make a maximum of 2 and you're up 3 and you get the ball back. But it's a gutsy thing to do. I mean, the statistics, or the analytics rather, lend itself to being really beneficial to getting a win, to foul when you're up 3.
It's an interesting one in FIBA as well, because you have to disguise it a lot better. It's not like if you're watching the NBA or the WNBL, where the rules are just a little bit different.
Yeah, you can't wrap somebody up.
You can't wrap somebody up and make it look very, very obvious. You have to try and disguise it. Otherwise, the officials will be quick to call an unsportsmanlike. And the other thing then, if you have to try and disguise it, it's a little bit harder to avoid them getting a shot up and going the line for 3 freebies. So it is one of the great debating points. Let's see what the Adelaide Lightning decide to do. They've advanced the ball, so the shot clock goes down to 14 here for Geelong. They go to Shalley, up fake, running. That's a tough look. Ball still loose. Brett kicks it down, back out to Shalley. Now it's Raber for 3. Oh! She got it to go. We're all tied up at 64. Daniel Raber, just the 4 points so far in this game. Make it 7 with a clutch 3 with 12 seconds remaining.
An unlikely hero.
Daniel Raber, unbelievable make. Just the 5 points in her only game of the season so far, back in round number 1. It was chaos. The smarts from Brett to kick it out to Shelley to get back to the perimeter, and she left it up there as well, just to remind everyone, I'm a threat.
And born out of hustle too, right? So Geelong keeps the basketball alive. They always stay fighting. They always keep punching. And they've landed a big one to tie this ball game up.
Remarkable, remarkable play. And now it's over to the Lightning. And Mark, who are you throwing the ball to now?
Well, I think, again, you've got to use somebody as a distraction. So I'm going to probably use Borlase as a distraction. I'm going to get the ball to Talbot and have her go and attack the rim with about 7 seconds to play and get a shot up on the rim. Even if it's a floater in the mid-range, no problem, but it gives you a chance, or someone like Brianna Turner, a chance to tip or alley-oop the ball in with seconds remaining.
So here we go. They are not advancing the ball. 11.9 seconds. Game is tied. Who will step up and be the hero? Borlase goes one-on-one. Keeps it. Clock winding down. Step back jumper. Up. Rims out. Turner with the flip. No. And we're getting free basketball, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to overtime.
Well, it was close. Borlase went to the basket. Talbot was posting up. And then you did have that alley-oop put-back opportunity for Brianna Turner. So she's got such great athleticism, and she's got an exceptional reach where she'll come up with the basketball if you get a shot up there that doesn't go down.
It's a trip to overtime. These two teams knotted up at 64 apiece in regulation after a 17-7 quarter from Geelong. 7 points for the Lightning. It's just 7 in the fourth quarter mark.
Maybe they're just resting themselves for this overtime period. They're going to come out with a bang.
Up and down, back and forth. You just got the feeling from the very outset that it was going to be a tight contest. It was one that was going to go down to the wire, and that is certainly the case right now.
So your biggest friend now coming into this overtime period is clarity. Simplicity and clarity. Be really clear on what you want from your team offensively, and then what the plan is on the defensive end, and then where there might be some variance or some change that you throw in to disrupt the rhythm of the opponent. What you don't want as fatigue starts to play a part is confusion. I think that it puts you in a position to be successful where you can do less things better and keep everybody dangerous and on the same page.
The only player really in foul trouble as well at the moment is Izzy Bourne, which is always an interesting one heading into overtime. But just the one player in foul trouble. You have a look through the numbers. Keely Froling really big in that fourth quarter. Had 9 points in the fourth. She's up to 14 in what's been a pretty tough night for her. Jones up to 8 points and 12 rebounds for Geelong, and Brett with 14, 5 and 3 for Adelaide. Talbot 13, Borlase 17. Bourne with 10 and 10, that double-double as well. We all get a chance just to catch our breath. Well, it's a massive doubleheader here for your Saturday night of hoops, and it is starting off with a bang. We've got extra basketball coming to you here in overtime. And the players, they're ready to go, Mark. There's the clock in the break for the break in before overtime. Still has about a minute to play. Right. The players are that eager. They're already out on the floor ready to go.
And Chris Lucas is talking to the referee, probably saying, look, do we have to wait out this 40 seconds, or everybody's ready, the viewers are ready, the players are ready. Let's get this thing underway.
Everyone just gets to take it. Now, what do you do here if you're Adelaide? Is it just a case of forget that last quarter? Let's just reset. We know we've got the offense there and needs it. But 7 points in a quarter when you've got that much firepower, it has to be a little bit of a hit on the morale.
Yeah, it is, but it's a clean slate, and you've got to present it as such, knowing that you've got some weapons, knowing that, I mentioned earlier that Japrice Dean hadn't got close to her 19.5 point per game average. She's only up to the 8, but made that huge basket from the elbow with that jumper that tied the ball game up. She's got another level to go to. Bourne hits a big 3. She's up to the 10 points. You've got Talbot and Borlase, who two of the toughest people to guard in the entirety of the competition, and they're both on your team. You've got everything that you need to win this ball game.
And we are underway in overtime. 64 apiece. Adelaide will get the first look. Treated to a special start here, Saturday doubleheader here for the Signet WNBL. Extra kick, Bourne. She hit one from here in the fourth, and it does everything but drop.
And beautiful execution too. Got a great shot out of the possession.
And the lid remains on the rim for the Adelaide Lightning. Jones turned away from it, had Brett open. She's had the hot hand, and that one doesn't go. And that's going to be out of bounds on Turner, I thought, but they're calling it Adelaide's way. Look at the replay here. It looked as though it was bounced out of bounds by Turner. It was what Raber was hoping for, but will stay with Adelaide.
Who lands the first punch here in overtime?
And normally that's the way that overtime tends to go. In a weird tradition. Well, let's wait and see. Ball ace. Well stopped. Talbot had a good look at it. She's gone a little bit quiet in the back half of this game, and maybe some fatigue just getting up to game pace. Has missed the first 2 games of the season for the Adelaide Lightning.
Really good defense too, just keeping in front of the basketball from Geelong, making life tough.
Raber, after the made 3, says, I've got the hot hand. Doesn't get that one to go. Froling spins to the baseline, called for a travel. And she is fuming over some of the contact and physicality. But there was a little switch of the pivot feet and no dribble.
And Izzy Bourne, who was guarding her in that possession, got to be ultra careful not to foul, otherwise she'll be out of the ball game.
Yeah, did a great job. That's almost a backcourt from where Turner collected the ball and then went and got it. It did come off hands. Dean wants to dance. Couldn't dance her way to 2. There's a fight for the rebound. Turner picked it up. Somehow got a pass to Talbot. It is physical out there. And a rebound for Jones. What a battle. No score yet in overtime. Jones creates space for herself. Misses the wide open bank shot. Who is going to throw the first punch, Mark?
You just feel like if Geelong can land one, the roof is going to blow off the arena.
That almost dropped in off a deflection. That was almost what Adelaide needed. Brent was wide open. They go to Raber instead. She lost control of the ball. It is chaos at Geelong Arena. Froling for 3. Got it to drop. And the home fans go crazy.
What a gutsy performance to get herself back on track, back within the flow of the ball game, and having a winning hand here, Keely Froling.
And the experience of Keely Froling proving a difference down the stretch. Oh, the spin cycle from Bourne, but she missed the open layup. Did all the work. Jones, good hands from Talbot. Japrice Dean looked to flick it back in, but it's going to stay with Geelong. And you get the feeling a 2-basket lead could be telling in this overtime. We have a look at this backcourt, non-backcourt, I don't know, Mark.
Right, but the psychological damage that does when you know that you don't have everything clean offensively and you're in this pressure situation, this Geelong team is coming, that accumulates.
Jones just steals immediately from the inbound pass, and she couldn't get that one to drop.
But she's staying aggressive and they're good shots, so you'd be happy with that if you were Coach Chris Lucas.
It's Adelaide now who need the response. Everyone just standing around for the moment.
Yeah, they look tired.
Talbot, single-digit shot clock, lets it fly, doesn't get it to go. Froling, big rebound. You're right, Mark. Adelaide looking very tired out there, hands on hips. There is some tired bodies.
I talked about the war of attrition, right? So they've got 4 athletes in the top 7 for minutes played as an average, and that's not including Steph Talbot, who's put in a power of work herself.
Jones wants to go one-on-one. Great hand. Speaking of Steph Talbot, falling over, made the flick to ball ace. She does a great job of handling it and just taking a breath. They need an easy look. Talbot got nudged, got pushed, and she will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. And gee, did Adelaide need that.
She's got a world-class gas tank.
Look at the hands, just stayed in the play and just said, I need to make something happen, and she did. She's 1 of 1 from the free throw line. And remarkably for Adelaide, this will be just the 6th and 7th attempts from the free throw line, and we've played almost 44 minutes of basketball.
It's what makes Adelaide dangerous when you've got Talbot and Borlase who are ever-present threats of being able to not only score but put themselves in positions to be fouled. You know, it makes you really dangerous late in game situations like this, knowing you've got 2 targets to go to.
70 seconds remain in this one. Geelong with a 1-point advantage. After that Froling 3, she thought about going again. Puts the head down this time. Guess who came up with it? It was Steph Talbot. And Raber is called for the foul. We just have a moment to see if this is a clear path or anything of the sort. It's not going to be, but it'll stay with the Lightning.
Smart and lucky to be able to pick that foul up, because now you get your defense back and set. for what would have been, or avoiding rather, what would have been a wide open layup for Steph Talbot.
Inside the final minute once again. Do we have double overtime on the cards, Mark?
Why not?
Lightning trail by 1. Japristine made a big basket late in regulation. Talbot made the last 2 free throws. Wanted the roll, didn't happen. Turner. Good seal from Talbot. Steph Talbot almost. Turner with the tip in, no. Big contact on the rebound. Froling goes flying. Wallace came swinging through. We can have a look at the replay. It was a great seal from Talbot. Maybe a little bit unlucky not to get a foul from the back there from Froling. 37.3 seconds on the clock, and Keely Froling makes the long walk to the free throw line because they're in the bonus. She's shooting 6 of 7 from the charity stripe tonight.
If you're Coach Nat Hurst, better use of your energy rather than talking to the referee would be organising your team for this next offensive possession. You're not out of it. Even if Froling hits these 2 free throws, you've got a chance where a 3-point basket is able to tie the ball game up for you.
Big free throw coming here. And she's nothing but net. Back out to 3 points the margin. Froling has all 5 points for Geelong here in the extra period. And with 37.3 seconds remaining in this overtime, it is the home side Geelong who leads 69-66. And they lead the 4th quarter into overtime, 22-9. There's a big turnaround, Mark.
Massive, and a huge response, and both of these teams have done a really gutsy job of being able to wrestle and wrangle momentum back from the opponent when it started to get out of hand. I've really liked the persistence out of both of them to get them back into a winning position, and it's been, as cliche as it sounds, an absolute arm wrestle, Matt.
It certainly has, and don't forget, this is only game 1 of your Saturday night doubleheader. We've got another game coming on later tonight, and it's between the 2 undefeated teams in the competition. It's first versus second. It's Bendigo on the road to play Townsville in what should be a thrilling contest, but still, what in basketball terms is an eternity. It's only 37 seconds, but an eternity in basketball terms here in this one. The Lightning with possession, trail by 3, advancing the ball. Shot clock goes back to 14. Who is making the triple?
Look, I think you've got to back somebody in. You know that Talbot is going to get a whole lot of attention, as is Borlase. It could be somebody like Japristine, knowing that Bourne, as well as great a 3-point shooter as she is, she's also going to get a whole lot of attention.
Got to get the ball in first. They eventually do. Bourne's 2 of 4. Talbot looking for the quick 2 to start. Turner tried to tip it in. Couldn't do so. They don't have to foul. There's about a 5-second differential between game clock, shot clock. That was the advantage of advancing the ball. Talbot reaching in. You don't have to foul here. And now they don't. They will get the look back, but they have to get a stop, and they'll have to go quickly. Shelley takes a glance up at the clock, and Froling put the nail in the coffin. Extra ball to Shelley from the car park. It
Bang!
drops. Good night. Good night. Jazz Shelley says, see you later, Adelaide, with a big triple down the stretch. It went up, it dropped in, and United have their 2nd win in franchise history. They beat the Adelaide Lightning 72-66. What a game of basketball, Mark.
Wow.
What a battle.
Absolutely. And decided by some big-time plays, some highlight reel plays, that big 3-ball, and then the one to tie the ball game from Daniel Raber early. This is why we love WNBL basketball.
No doubt about that. The ebbs, the flows, no one could have seen that coming. Good luck trying to predict that. And they win the overtime period 8-2. And across the 4th quarter and overtime, they hold the Adelaide Lightning, Geelong hold the Adelaide Lightning to just 9 points in 15 minutes of basketball. Defensively, that is a phenomenal effort. And when you are starting a franchise, anchoring in defense is a great way to get going.
It is, and then knowing who you are and establishing your identity. So clearly that's been a big part of their focus. They're uber disruptive on the defensive end. They did such a great job to get themselves an early lead with all of the deflections and steals they were able to come up with. And then, like you said, put the clamps on the Adelaide Lightning, the dangerous Adelaide Lightning, holding them at 9 points in the fourth and overtime.
As we look through some of the great moments of this game, Geelong heading into this game allowed 88.6 points per game. They hold the Lightning just to 66, and the Lightning continuing to look for their first victory. Well, some of the individual efforts, it was done by committee, but Keely Froling, who played just a tick over 40 minutes, who had 5 points up until three-quarter time, finishes with 19 for the game to go along with 13 rebounds, 3 blocks, 2 steals. She had a tough time of it, committed 6 turnovers, was frustrated with the officiating, but was able to stay level-headed enough and ended up winning her team the game.
And I think that's the most impressive thing. And, you know, we've lauded what she offers this Geelong franchise as a leader, but leading by example where, you know, we all get caught up in the emotions of the game, but being able to regulate yourself and get back on track and put in, you know, a match-winning performance almost single-handedly. Huge effort by her, great win by the Geelong United franchise, and they continue to build.
And they're back at 500. And Alyssa Brett also fantastic off the bench for Geelong. 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists, 3 steals to go along with that. Adelaide Lightning, well, it was fantastic to see Steph Talbot back out on the floor. She missed the first 2 rounds. Comes out with 15 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks. And she's only going to get better, Mark. And that's scary for opposition teams. We're really excited if you're a Lightning fan.
Yeah, and like they showed in this third quarter how dangerous they can be and how they can put it together once they're able to create some clarity and stay on a page. They haven't played with Talbot yet, so she changes the dynamic again. You'll find that this Lightning team should continue to build and get better every game that they play together.
And a name we're seeing a lot there on those stats. It's worth shouting out. Brianna Turner played 42 minutes. She had 6 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 blocks, mind you, and 3 steals. One of the best defensive players we've probably seen in the WNBL, full stop, but also lately in the last few years as well. But in the end, it is Geelong who walk away 72-66. That's a big victory, and especially after what was a disappointing loss to end round 2 against Bendigo last week.
Yeah, and getting back to what their identity is, being able to steer or lean into that and steer yourself to a win, especially when you're in a position where this game looked like it was starting to get out of hand. Led by Keely Froling, exceptional game by her to get herself and her team over the line. Shot only the 5 of 15 from the field, which looks like it's quite low, but she stepped up when the team needed, made baskets in the clutch, led her team from the front.
And got herself to the free throw line, 8 of 9 from the free throw line, which probably proved to be the difference down the stretch. What a contest. What a game that was. And we've still got one more to come here on Saturday night. 2 more for the round. So we head to the Townsville Entertainment Centre next, where we see the 2 undefeated teams left in the WNBL go head-to-head. Townsville hosting Bendigo before the Flyers, the reigning champs, host the UC Caps, who will be hungry for a win after that tough loss against the Lynx. But what a game that was. Mark Alabakov, we were treated to one tonight.
My goodness, a big collective breath, and then this next game is going to be appointment viewing as well. So go out, have a walk, make a cup of tea, get yourself settled in for another exciting contest of Signet WNBL action.
Yeah, certainly the case there. But don't go too far because it's only less than half an hour away. Make sure you tune in to that one later on tonight. But what an opening game for your Saturday night doubleheader. Geelong United, they walk away winners 72-66. On behalf of Mark Alabakov, the fantastic production staff, we'll see you for the next one in not too long at all.